Hey guys, I'm Peter.
I'm Chaz.
And we're from Project Better Dolphin.
Yes, we are.
Today we're going to be talking about Halo, just reviewing it, talking about a bit of statistics behind the game, and what 343 Industries has told us thus far about production. 343 Industries has recently stated that over 1 million players have defeated the campaign in 5 days.
It's a lot of people in not very many days. Furthermore, over 6% of the people that finished the game played it on Legendary. As one of those people, it is not easy.
Specific numbers include 1,116,882 people have completed the game in 5 days as far as the campaign is concerned. When it comes to multiplayer, players have racked up 4,590,416,285 total kills in war games.
That is so many kills. I probably was the death in half of those.
That is at least the human population times a million.
Aren't there 6 billion people?
Are there 6 billion people?
We've killed most of Earth.
In 5 days. Xbox Live also reveals that players have unlocked 43,335,060 achievements in the last 5 days as well.
That's so many achievements.
Achievables, we boop.
Beep boop.
Xbox also reveals that players have played over 31.4 million hours of Halo, and 60 million of those hours are in war games.
Literally half of that is in campaign, so that's still a lot, especially considering it's a 6-hour campaign if you run a lot.
Lots of campaign to be had. So now we're going to get into a bit of how we like the game. We're going to be reviewing both the campaign and the multiplayer, talking about aspects we liked and did not like. For Chaz, there are not many that he did not like.
We will be keeping this review completely spoiler-free. However, I will be doing a separate video which will contain spoilers going into how all the extended universe that's being built up through books, comics, Halo Legends, Forward Unto Dawn, how all of that has kind of been bringing us toward Halo 4 for years.
Let's start off with going into the campaign of the game. As a person who is not quite into Halo and doesn't really understand what's going on, this game for me was simply amazing. Even though I had no idea what was going on, this whole new story arc gave me a chance to learn what is going on in this specific trilogy that's going to happen. I really enjoyed all the drama, all of the characters did really well as far as like voice acting goes, and it was amazing.
One of the things I've noticed that's been brought up in a lot of reviews, and that I personally noticed, is this is by far the best looking game cutscene-wise in the Halo series. Previously, Halo Wars cutscenes were the best that there were to offer, especially in terms of facial details. But for the first time that I've ever seen in a game, they went into so much detail that Lasky, one of the characters you meet early on, actually doesn't have perfect teeth. He has crooked teeth. So does Cortana. I mean, usually game studios, just to save time, will use kind of universal models for things like teeth, noses, with just a little bit of tweaking so that characters don't all look the same. For example, in Arkham City, Catwoman and Harley Quinn were literally the same character model.
Cortana had some pretty rank teeth. Pretty rank. We needed to see just her voluptuous figure.
Daddy, shut the f*** up.
That's everything gamers needed to see.
Let's encourage those people.
Well, now that we've pretty much covered the campaign of the story, we're going to go into multiplayer and some of the aspects of that, and again, what we dislike and what we like.
Well, I have to say, I go back and forth on the campaign whether it is my favorite of any Halo campaign. I have not currently reached a decision, which is why that Halo review that I promised to put up kind of hasn't happened. But by far, the multiplayer is the greatest Halo experience there is to be had. There are a lot of changes that have been made from the other games, but if you're worried that it doesn't feel like Halo anymore, you're going to be perfectly happy if you give it a try.
Again, as someone who has not really played Halo that much, I found this to be amazing as far as multiplayer goes. I really like what they did as far as changes go between Reach and Halo 4, as far as like accreditation and Spartan specialization and just uniqueness goes. Because now it's not just what armor set you have and what colors you have and what emblem you have. It's so much more than that. It goes, what loadout do you have? What loadouts do you have? What abilities do you have? I like the fact that they made Spartan points more for powers of your loadout than simply, you know, oh, we're just going to use this as aesthetics and they don't really mean anything, but we want you to get them and you're going to use credits and it's just going to be kind of bad. I really like how they made aesthetics free, and some aesthetics actually you need to complete achievements for. I think that's a really good idea. I also am a really big fan of all the new emblems that they brought in and all the new codes that they're using. One thing that I kind of disliked was I think there should be more selection in the loadouts as far as weapons go, like primary and secondary. I understand the argument that it would be a little overpowered, but I think that needs to be something, or at least in like a certain category of multiplayer where you can have like that special loadout of like overpowered weapons.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if like you had a loadout that you could call in as ordnance, like instead of just random, this time we're gonna give you the choice between sticky grenades, a needler, and speed boost. Well, that's not ordnance. That's a disappointment. Being able to be like, alright, well I want a gravity hammer and a hard light shield to drop, and I'm gonna run around and smash.
Yeah, and that's also like a really good argument too, because what if I'm not good with a saw, or what if I'm not good with a needler, but I'm good with a gravity hammer and a sniper rifle? Those are two things that I think that should be addressed in the next Halo game that comes.
It's worth pointing out though that there is a Spartan specialization called Engineer, which specializations are unlocked after level 50, that allows you, when you get ordnance, if you don't like your choices, to essentially re-roll and have another go at it. Although there's no guarantee that option will be any better. It does kind of suck when all of my ordnance drops are needlers, and then someone's running around with an energy sword cutting me over and over.
Great day.
So many cuts.
So.
Anyway, other changes like the armor abilities I really like. I definitely enjoy that the regeneration field is no longer a bubble. That was some bullshit. Hard light shield is a lot of fun and takes away a lot of the problems we had with armor lock being kind of broken. If someone armor locked, you basically lost, because if you got behind them, they could spin around magically fast by tweaking the camera, and there were just way too many exploits around the armor lock mod. So I'm very glad that they took that out and went a whole different direction. The thruster pack is a lot of fun, especially in flood mode when you start bouncing off walls and stabbing people. They freak out, because I've done it to Peter and he freaks out. One of the brand new features that we have never seen before in Halo 4 is the addition of Spartan Ops in place of the classic firefight.
I think it's very interesting. I'm not like a big fan of it. I wouldn't, like, I don't know why. I can't get into it that much, but I do think it's a good idea. I do think it's an interesting feature to have available. I haven't really taken advantage of it that much, though.
I really like the weekly episodic content because, being a huge Halo fan, I did everything. After the midnight, we played straight through the campaign and straight through Spartan Ops. And every week, I get to look forward to 2 more hours of brand new Halo content that I've never experienced before. I like the story-driven angle, where it's not quite as dramatic as the campaign, but we do see events linking together a bit more than Firefight, which is some Covenant landed. You have guns.
Is there a story in that?
The story thus far, and this isn't really going to contain spoilers because it's not actually a deep story, but you start out finding these Promethean ruins, and then you kind of clear them out so that the scientists can explore, and the scientists do something terrible and you have to deal with it, and that's as far as we've gotten. I also really like the hidden red versus blue Easter eggs, which you definitely have to work to find. But for example, in the first Spartan Ops chapter, there's this little box way off the map that you can shoot with a DMR, and it plays the red versus blue theme, and then at later points in the episode, when the narrator essentially calls another Spartan on the team, instead of the actual responses, you hear Caboose go, the guy that is supposed to answer the radio wasn't here. He had to go to the bathroom. It's great to see 343 acknowledging their fans that do stuff like Red versus Blue in the same way that Bungie did, with things like adding Griffball, making it a legitimate game type, when really it started out as a one-liner in Red versus Blue.
It's pretty interesting. I really definitely like when big companies like that address their fans and all the great stuff they produce.
That pretty much covers everything for Halo. I think both of us agree that it's a really fantastic game.
9.9.
I can get behind that number.
9.9 for me. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, check out our blog at www.projectbetterdolphin.com. Don't forget to read all of our articles, because we are awesome.
Especially mine.
Especially ours, and
not Gabby's.
Not Gabby's. Sister Hapstar Girl.
Hapstar Girl.
Hapstar Girl.
We would love to hear you sound off in the comments what you liked, disliked about the game, favorite moments, spoiler free of course. If you want to talk about your favorite loadout, anything, we'd be happy to hear from you. Seriously, nobody comment.
As well, I'd be interested in hearing what changes you think should be made to different aspects of the game. So it could be anything like War Games campaign or even Spartan Ops.
And if we really like something you say, it'll probably get featured on the blog.
Yeah,
We don't have enough content.
We don't have enough content. Anyway, have a good one, guys. See you later.